So guys, the dev server is now closed, but we did some testing yesterday on the stealthiness of the Comanche, and I'm actually pretty happy about this. But yes, the Comanche is finally pretty stealthy, guys. It is actually usable now with the stealth capability, because before, of course, last week, we tested the stealth capabilities of it, and it was pretty subpar, you know. It wasn't able to withstand getting into the range of the Hellfire without getting killed by an AA system. Of course, these tests that I'm doing with a friend over here is normally a blind test. What that means is basically we spawn in, you can do whatever you want, you know, both of them, both of me and him, you know, we can do whatever. And the objective is to kill each other, right? To destroy the vehicle. And doing this without telling from where we are coming and everything, we are trying to test it out. How can I use stealthiness of the Comanche to be able to properly get a jump basically on the AA system, right? So I'm not telling him where I am or whatever or how I'm going to attack. I just try to fly low, try to get into position and try to attack him. And before it was pretty bad. I mean, you were always detected above the 8-kilometer mark of the Hellfire range, and you wouldn't be able to actually get anything done. The radar would just pick you up, and of course a missile from an AA system, especially something like Tunguska, would be a lot better than or a lot faster than the Hellfire. So even if you get a shot out, you would probably die if you try to maintain the lock, right? But right now, guys, in the last dev server, yesterday, yes, it is very stealthy now. Yes, indeed, very, very stealthy. The aircraft can be inside the range of the Hellfire without too much trouble, you know? We tested with the Tunguska and some other AA systems, and the general idea, even some other AA systems of very close BR there, they wouldn't detect the Comanche when up to like 6 kilometers, you know. So for example, if you were at 6 kilometers, you would be detected. Above that, you wouldn't be detected by the radar. Of course, the target can still use thermal imaging, and it can still use the IRST. The IRST, I think in a general sense, you can get more luck getting a detection, because they really honestly just changed the RCS in this last dev server. But in a general sense, the aircraft really is stealthy now. You know, you can get up to the 8-kilometer, 7-kilometer mark, even 6 point something if you want, and you wouldn't be detected. Of course, remember, this is a very high tier helicopter, so sometimes you will get against the Panzer and you probably will be detected from above that. So you gotta be careful. But similar-ish in BR with the Comanche, you are kind of fine. You can get into the range of the Hellfires, fire your missile. You can even use your radar. Sometimes I was using my radar that has a very mediocre range of only 8 kilometers to find exactly where he was in a very easy manner. I would lock him up, use the imaging system to actually launch the Hellfire, get the kill. He wouldn't even see me. Problem? Well, there is one. They can find the Hellfire. So these AA systems will detect the Hellfire, and they can, by association of the direction that you are in for, you know, firing the missiles, they can try to find with you the imaging system, because the missile is coming from the same direction that you are, right? So some off-board kind of tactics would be very good to be used here. So firing the missile kind of in a sideways position to help you mask where you are exactly, and then just maintaining the lock on the laser, right? So there are plenty of options out there that can be used, and at the end of the day, although the Hellfire B is not the greatest, most advanced missile ever, and it sometimes loses out for a lot of the missiles that we have in the game right now in top tier, you know, the combination of stealthiness and having these missiles is just incredible. You can get any AA killed, you can get tanks, of course, and you won't be detected, man. If you fly very low, if you fly very high, you know, it just doesn't matter. And even in the air-to-air role, the Comanche was just pretty much invisible unless for some reason the enemy used a TWS. For some reason TWS would manage to lock where you are and then fire the AIM-120, but even then the AIM-120 wouldn't really get a lock on. So if you're moving around, it's kind of fine. And the radar in the normal situations of pulse Doppler and everything, it would be almost impossible to detect you. You would always detect the aircraft first and be able to fire a stinger way first than he is even looking at you. So even in the air-to-air, this aircraft is really, really interesting, guys. It doesn't have flares, it doesn't have chaff, so of course you gotta be careful. There are some people asking for it. I don't know if they're gonna add or not. I don't know how, you know, realistic it is to these aircraft to actually receive these. But at the end of the day, you kind of don't need it. And I noticed as well that if you use your extra pylons or anything like that, it doesn't break the stealthiness by any means. It's the exact same. So just take as many Hellfires as you can. Take some Stingers, and you're going to be able to destroy the teams if you play correctly. And again, this is very similar to the F-117, guys, where an aircraft such as this has a very particular way of being used. And if you use it in the correct way, it will be literally the best helicopter in the game, maybe. But at the same time, if you are exposing yourself too much, if you are maybe getting too close to the targets, I don't know, if you play it incorrectly, you will get killed very easily, you know. The strength on this aircraft is that you gotta not be detected. That's kind of the idea here. You always have to not be detected. If you are detected at any time, you will get, you know, destroyed. So it's something that really is important to kind of mention, right? That at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you are closer or it doesn't matter the tactic that you use. The objective is to not be detected. That's the main idea. If you get detected, you're dead. So especially when in an imaging system with a AA system, right, that has IRSTs, for example. So, you know, it's kind of complicated, I know, but at the end of the day, yeah, it is the best, most advanced helicopter at its BR, for sure, because you will not be detected. And that's amazing, you know, you just get in there, fire your missiles, get the kill, and get out. It's pretty amazing. It's probably the coolest helicopter in the game, and probably the one that I will be flying the most, to be honest. It is just a very, very cool helicopter. But yeah, guys, basically this is it. So now it's officially stealth, the Comanche. You can use stealthiness to get kills and stay alive, which is very cool. Unfortunately, behind a paywall, but still. So I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye guys, see ya.